Getting your first pull-up is one of those important milestones in order to continue your progress in skill-based training, whether that's getting into the muscle up or just getting stronger. The pull-up is one of those fundamental movements, but yet some people still struggle with it. What if you want more pull-ups or you just want to get your first one? We're going to break it down in order for you to master the pull-up as quickly and as efficiently as possible. Since I've been coaching in important sports such as Ninja Warrior and Gymnastics, the pull-up is such a fundamental move, so I have a little bit of experience on training that. I want to share that to you. First, we're going to assume that you are already doing some sort of specific workout training. So step one is dedicate some sort of day to do some sort of training. The more goals that you have, the less time you can put in every single goal, which means the less value you can put in every single thing. So we're going to assume that the pull-up is your main skill that you're trying to get. So how would you do this? Well, first is we need to break down the progressions. If you can't do a pull-up, you're going to have to start with the lowest progression possible to get it at the highest quality possible. If you're doing this in a regular workout, then my goal would be able to aim for 12 pull-ups. Now, why 12? It's this weird magical number, especially for beginners. There's not really a set number because theoretically for building muscle, you want to get anywhere between 5 and 33 reps. You can still get the pull-ups. We are looking for a number in which we can do more often in sets and reps, more out throughout your workout session, and something that builds the mind-body connection. As you know, part of building strength or part of getting the muscle up is the technique. In order to get the technique, we need more time within the move. So yes, we could go lower for strength, but we actually want to go higher in order to get more reps. This because sometimes people struggle with getting the mind-body connection, and some other people struggle because they just don't have the right muscles. So why don't we do both? For example, when I was trying to increase my pull-ups, or I wanted to get the one-arm pull-ups, I realized that the muscles that I was using was incorrect. I literally had to have someone behind me poking my back constantly to make sure that I was able to use the right muscles, because turns out I was using more my arms than my back. So we need to find which progressions can get you to that 12. If you are a part of the community, you can go ahead and look at the app. We have a full breakdown of the progressions of the pull-up. So let's start from the beginning and work our way up to the hardest version, which is the full pull-up. Yes, there's obviously progressions after that, and the muscle up would be one of the moves after that, but let's start small. If for whatever reason you're unable to do the pull-up, you would start with TRX bands, rings, or even a door frame, which I call a vertical pull-up. Basically, you're using something where you're basically standing to pull yourself in. The next progression would be using those bands or TRX and slowly getting more and more lower. You would start with your body about vertical, and as the closer that you get your feet down and the more you get horizontal with whatever the thing you're holding with, the more weight you're putting on those muscles, so the harder it will be. The good news with that is you have a gauge that you can play with. Next would be those horizontal pull-ups. There you don't need to use your TRX band or rings, you just need some sort of bar, or during COVID we used to use tables in order to do that. We've got your horizontal ones. The next would be something called a jackknife pull-up, which is a very underrated and misused thing, where you're putting your legs on something and makes your body into a L shape. So your legs are on something, and so you're basically doing the vertical motion of the pull-up. But with your legs on something, then there's less weight on it, which makes it a lot easier. After the jackknife pull-up, you could theoretically slowly use less and less of your legs. I like to go into the next one, which is the negatives. Where it works is you start on the top and you slowly lower yourself down from 3 to 5 seconds, really trying to feel the muscles do that. In between that, I don't really use assisted box or have the bar low enough to the ground where I can help myself as much as I need to get up, and then I do the negative. But if you have the elastic, that does make it easier. It's just an option. After the negatives, you can go to chin up and then the full pull up. A common misconception with the chin up is that it uses more your biceps than your back. Yes, it does use your biceps a little bit more, but they actually did a couple of studies and found that the pull-up and the chin-up, the muscles that it uses is so similar. It's not actually that much of a difference. The difference really is the chin-up still feels very easy. Why is that? Because the chin-up, which is when your hands are, where your fingers are facing towards you, the pull-up is where your fingers are facing away from you. In the chin-up, you actually get your body closer to the bar, and as your body is closer to the bar, that angle between the bar and your body feels a lot easier. Also, for most people, for mobility, this is either this. And the moment some people start doing this, you start feeling it in your shoulders, you feel a stretch in the muscles, and then your muscles are more stretching than they are actually doing the motion. The mind-body connection with the muscle recruitment and the body position, it feels easier. So we will use the chin-up as a progression, but as a slightly different progression, and you'll see why when we do the full workout plan. So when you get to the pull-up, now we have a list of progressions. How do we use those in a workout plan? So your goal is to do 3 or 4 sets, and I'll explain how you choose that. Your goal is to get to 12 pull-ups, no matter what. You will start with the highest progression in which you can do about 3 or more exercises. So someone who can do 3 pull-ups as an example, you start at the pull-up, you do 3, and then you lower down to the lowest one you can. In this case, I would do the negatives. So you do 3 full pull-ups, and then you would do the negatives all the way until you can't do them anymore, and then maybe you go down to the jackknife pull-up. For someone who doesn't have a pull-up, let's say you're at the TRX band, which is a lot more adjustable. You go as low as you can, you do the pull-ups until you are no longer able to do it at proper quality. And then you can lift your feet up, make it a little bit easier, and get all the way to 12. Then you rest for 2 to 3 minutes, and you repeat that. If you follow the workout program here that we have in the community, we have the supersets. So ideally, when you come back to it, you would do that. Ideally, you want to wait the 2 to 3 minutes to get a full amount of rest. Going lower technically won't get you there as quickly as you can because your muscle actually need to rest to do a high quality. Again, that depends on your goal. We're going more general. So maybe endurance is your goal, maybe strength is your goal, maybe your power is your goal. We're just assuming you want to get to the muscle up and have a higher rep of pull-ups. All right, so those are the progressions. In order to know if you can do 3 to 4 sets, is really comes down to the individual. Ideally, the more sets that you can do, the better, right? 4 sets is better than 3 sets. Minimum should be 3, and because you have the progressions, it really depends on how you're feeling. Ideally, I would only do 4 sets. Technically, you can even do 5. I would do as many sets as I could, as long as I could keep doing the highest progression of the move that I could do. If you can get to 4, it's really, are you exhausted at the end? Do you need to wait longer than 3 to 4 minutes before you can do it? We will do a video completely on rest and how to know to keep going. Your muscles are so sore that just moving them feels pain, then maybe you need more rest, or maybe you're done there. Obviously, the good news with technique is if we go a lot lower and you do that extra set just in order for you to work through that mind-body connection in order to understand the motion, that is totally fine. Just know that's not a working set. That is more in order to get you closer to your goal. So a quick recap, 12 reps. Do the highest quality progression you can do of the pull-up. Then you work your way down if you can't do that anymore until you get to 12. After that, you rest about 2 minutes until all those check marks are set. And then you do 3 to 5 sets. After those 3 to 5 sets, ideally, maybe one of those sets is a very, very, very low just to get that motion in there. How often do you do this during the week? This is going to sound like a simple answer, and this also works with a full body in any muscle specifically. It's when your muscles are fully rested in order to do the highest quality possible. This will also know if you need to change your numbers or if something's off. So for example, if you can do the full workout again the next day, there is a good chance that your reps need to go higher or your sets need to go higher. So this is why I said 12 is the average. You could go to 15 now, or you could go to 5 or 6 sets. If you're getting to above 5 sets, there's a good chance that it's your reps that need to go higher. So to get that full range of motion pull-up, you should, on average, need about 24 hours of full rest. So you should not be able to do it the next day. Some people, their muscles are different based on genetics and volume and what you do. You might need 48 hours to rest, and that is still okay. If you need more than 48 hours, maybe it's a little bit too intense for some reason, but at least 24 hours to maybe 48 hours of rest before you do the full workout is when you be able to do the full workout again. Now, obviously your workout isn't just the pull-ups. So just make sure in whatever your full workout plan is, either that is full body or pulling day or upper body, that you have your pull-ups in there. With that idea, you should be able to do pull-ups, if that is your goal, about 3 times during the week. To change it up, I would do one day like this, like the pull-ups, like the hands outside, and I would try to do those all those 3 days. If you want to feel like a change, then one of those days, maybe the middle one, you change it to the supinated grip and you do the same workout that way. Then you change a little bit of the muscles, you try something a little bit different, changes it up a bit, but it is not necessary. It is more of a mental thing. I like to change things up a bit. I like things to be slightly different, but still consistent, if that makes sense. So then that's when I would change my hands. Now, if you were here for the live call, you know that you can get the skills faster without working on the strength. We can work specifically on the technique. You can do this, what we do, the Russian method, or if that is your goal, you could theoretically do pull-ups every single day. I said that you need at least 24 hours to rest. Yes. So what you want to do is do the easiest version of the pull-up that you can do, and you would do that every single day. The craziest version of this is doing it every hour that obviously you're awake. You don't set an alarm to wake up every single hour to do pull-ups. And you would do as many reps as you can at the progression that it makes sense. Now you have a full list in which you do some until you start feeling it and then you stop. The goal of this is not to increase muscle mass. This is not to get a strength workout. This is a mind-body connection of reminding your body on how you want to do the pull-up and what muscles it needs to use. This is a mind-body connection. This is a technique-focused objective. Increase the amount of times that your mind and body works on the technique part, the movement part, not the strength part. If I could do 12, maybe 20 pull-ups, then I might just do 3 or 4 pull-ups. Think of it as it should be your warm-up set. Anything that you could do casually without until feeling it. One great thing is if you have a pull-up bar that's on the door frame, if there's a room that you traverse through multiple times, I had it a rule where every single time you'd go past that room before you behold the threshold of the beyond of the next room, you would do 1 or 2 pull-ups. Right now, if you're following one of these progressions, then it could be as simple as every time you go through a door frame, you do like that door frame pull up on the side and then you keep going. It might be 2, it might be 3, it might be 5. That all depends on you. Because your muscles need rest and because technically you need to be able to do 100% of the strength part, you do not want to burn out from doing this. You should never burn out from this. That's what we call the Russian method. Time under technique. TOT. It's something that we don't call it. I call it the Russian method. You can call it the TOT if you want. So quick recap on if you want to get the pull-ups as quickly and as efficiently as possible. Number 1, in your main workout, you're getting about 12 sets of the highest quality of the progressions of the pull-ups you can do, working your way from the highest to lowest, resting well enough to 1, be able to do the next set of 3 to 5, and 2, being able to rest until 2 or 3 days later, you can do the same intensity, if not more. Then in between those times, you are finding a time in which you can do the pull-ups throughout the day. You can either do it the extreme version, which is every hour, or the less extreme version, which is once in the morning, once at night. Similar to some sort of a morning routine or night routine. Ideally, you'd be aiming for pull-ups because that gets closer to the muscle up. And theoretically, you can take this exact same advice and the exact same technique with the muscle ups. The difference is the muscle up would be the higher progression. And you do the muscle up, do muscle up negative to the full pull-ups, chest high pull-ups to regular pull-ups, and you keep working your way down. That is how the pull-up will get in your arsenal and under your tool belt as one of the things you just do so easily and naturally, not only in technique, but in strength. So to get you closer to the muscle up, to get your number of pull-ups even higher, to show off that V-shaped back that most people will get just naturally by working on pull-ups, and so many other skills, such as the front lever and the planches, that will get you there closer. The pull-up is fundamental. It's used in all my gymnastics training and all my Ninja Warrior training and all the awesome Ninja Fitness training. So follow this guide. If you want a little bit more clearance, a little more guidance, like I said, there's a workout on the app that also shows these full progressions with video tutorials and explanation, and you can build your own workout in there completely for free. Also, coming up next, we are going to be doing the Q&A here live with all those a part of the community. If you want to be a part of these Q&As right after this, then you can go ahead and join for those there on social media. For everyone else, let's talk about that and answer any other question you have to pull up or any other skills. Get that pull up. You will get it. It just takes time. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and you'll notice that those numbers keep going higher and higher and higher until pull-ups is just something that becomes as easy as walking. And while you're doing that, make sure to stay awesome.